I wonder if you might help us. You see, our car broke down a few miles up the road.
I think perhaps you better both come inside. It's one of the master's affairs.
Oh.
Welcome to the NBA podcast, where each week, or thereabouts, we explore the side streets and rabbit holes around movies, books, and albums. We may have missed Halloween, but we bring you some light horror and a little magic in this episode, where we explore the 1975 cult classic, The Rocky Horror Picture Show, and the 1944 novella, The Little Prince. This episode has everything. Devon and Drag, the Spice Girls, Amputated Toes, one fiery Latina woman, and tales of World War II flying aces. Enjoy the podcast. So, Dev, is that your own corset, or did you borrow that?
I would like to say it's my own, but it's no, borrowed it from a girlfriend.
Okay, lovely. It's a very good effort. I didn't even think that far.
All mine went in the wash, different colors ran. So I had to throw all of mine away.
Fair enough.
And the wash doesn't mix them in a decent rainbow design. It just makes one big purpley brown puddle. Yeah.
Always hand wash your corsets, Dev. If I've learned anything in this life.
Hand wash corsets.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yep.
No,
you are very distracting to look at, but I'll in the best, most heterosexual way.
Remember his family. His family, Thorne. Be careful.
And family.
Yeah.
So did you know it was the 50th anniversary? Was that why you chose it, or is that just a happy coinkydink that it's the year of the big 50th?
I did actually not. The 50th anniversary.
So it is,
yes.
1975.
Yeah. So there's like big re-releases and all kinds of attention around it at the moment.
Because I know it was playing in the theatres in Durban, but I didn't realise it was because it was the 50th. Just thought it was.
Durban probably didn't realise that either. Yeah. I can guarantee you no one in Durban knew that either.
Yeah, I'm sure.
No, awesome.
Dumb luck. Very good.
How did the boys enjoy the movie? It was the first time you've seen it, though, Bear?
It's the first time I've seen it, yeah, and it was really, really kind of trippy. And I think it would have been more fun to watch with someone else, but I did really enjoy it. And then there were parts of it which is very kind of familiar. But yeah,
I reckon you must have seen bits of it somewhere along. Everybody's seen bits of it.
Yeah, or heard bits of it, kind of with segments, scenes taken out for plays or musicals. But you know, when they first arrive at the Frankenstein Castle, for the first time I get a sense of what it might be like for a friend of ours to come to a large family gathering for the first time. I had definite insight into what it must have felt like for our best friends to be first introduced to the whole family.
She's like, characters are pretty much the same.
The characters are pretty much the same, but then like the dodgy nighttime meanderings happened, and that's kind of where I thought I would end the comparison.
I was at your grandfather's 80th. It was very, very similar. Yeah.
It was.
Was there a piper in the movie? I don't remember there being a piper in Rocky Horror, though.
No, not at all, man. So thank you for that, Deb.
You're absolutely welcome.
Yeah, good to watch it again.
Yeah, and talking about the 50th, like, you know, when you're looking at it, it was only like, I think the original plan was a 3-week run. And I think they say it's been unbroken. It's been an unbroken theatrical release for 50 years. It's been on. It's been on non-stop, either on film or on stage or something. It hasn't been. Yeah, not in one place necessarily.
Not in one area. Okay, so it's not like The Mousetrap, which is played in basically the same theatre in the West End for 70 years already. Yeah, wow. I think that. Well, I don't know the exact stats, but I don't know if it's been the same theatre. But The Mousetrap's been on the West End for like 70 years or something crazy.
Jeez.
I should always be fact checked. We can edit it. We can
fact check after. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I didn't realize it had been. Yeah, I suppose it's somewhere around the world it's been played constantly.
Yeah, which is really, really cool.
Amazing.
I mean, I remember the first time I saw it, I must have been, I don't know, 10, 12 maybe.
Just after the Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's a natural progression that, yeah.
Hell of a movie education I got growing up.
Did you never watch any, are you only going to get to the Disney stuff when you're about 75?
Yeah. Well, I started off with Land Before Time, and then I was traumatized the rest of my life. So
I still haven't finished that.
Jeez.
I've never read past the tar pits.
It's
brutal. It's a brutal movie.
I don't think I ever watched it. Anyway, next it'll be on the list, I'm sure, at some point, just to traumatize Thorin.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah, that was entertaining.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's got all the key elements that I look for in a movie. You know, alien transvestites, spaceships, those 1980s meat cutters with the two-pronged plugs, electric carvers. It was really superb.
Meatloaf on the back.
Yes. Oh, I wish he'd bloody been in there longer.
So Meatloaf, this was Meatloaf's big ticket that got him on the stage. And
really?
Yes, this was his break. And when they're using that electric carver that I just mentioned, and old Frankenfurter is feeding him to everybody else, he's been cooked into a meatloaf.
Oh, my goodness.
No.
Did any of you notice? This is going before we're off script on the whole movie. But did anybody notice the artworks throughout the movie?
What the statues or the paintings?
Everything.
No, I wasn't paying too much attention.
So in the opening, and I just for some reason it's something clicked at the beginning. You know,
there was American Gothic with the people and at the wedding. Yes,
right at the beginning.
Yeah. Yes.
So then I saw that and I thought, I wonder if they're going to throw these little, what do you call them, Thors? Easter eggs the whole way through. And then later on, I saw a Mona Lisa. And then there's, I looked up the list and I definitely missed a few of them. Obviously, the statue of David, but he's given him a bit more length and girth than he has in normal. But there's also the Last Supper. I saw that. But there's a whole list. There's Venus de Milo's in there. Rodin's The Kiss, Creation of Adam, Michelangelo. They're just all over the show. They've just hidden all these little things. And I assume it's part of the thing, or
intentionality.
Yeah, you'd like to think so.
There's also literal Easter eggs in the movie. Apparently, like during filming, they had an Easter egg hunt on set, and then afterwards, when they cleaned up, they forgot to do some. And there's like under Frankenfurter's throne, there's an actual Easter egg that was left there that people forgot to clear out.
Wow! Okay. I wonder if that's the origin of the term Easter egg.
Find it out.
Sure.
Or to be a very literal. It could be a very literal origin.
Very literal.
So can you defeat the purpose?
Can you see it on screen, Dev? Is there like one of those where you see it on screen in a cut of the film? Or
Yeah. I'll see if I can try and find it.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
And there's that skeleton as they walk in. That's there by the grandfather clock.
Yes.
Yeah. There's rumors. Well, I think it was fact. It's kind of gone to myth, to legend, whatever it is. But that was a real skeleton.
It's possible in the 70s.
Yeah,
it was very possible.
And why not? I mean, it's probably cheaper than making a plastic one.
No, absolutely. Because when we were doing the research for Big Lebowski, I was looking for, how Walter always says,
how to buy a big toe.
I can get you a toe. Green nail polish, fucking amateurs. I get you a toe by 3:00. So I looked for where you could buy a human toe. And besides for some kind of Nigerian muti scams where people were selling toes for real, there are companies that sell anatomical parts for educational or display purposes, but most of them are replicas. But they do also have the real stuff for academic or legitimate purposes. And if you go back decades before things got more kind of stringent or iffy about human remains, these things were purchasable, in kind of just your normal run of life.
So if you
lived in a castle called Frankenstein Castle.
So is that the most recent thing you've used your 2 master's degrees for, is to purchase a human toe and say it's for medical science?
Dude, I've actually... No. No, but it's a very good because I already have a replica human toe. Because Harry, when he went to New York, bought me the Big Lebowski box set, and in it with a bunch of very cool. It came with a lot of cool things. I'm not going to go through right now, but amongst the cool things was a replica human toe that had been severed with like a bloody bit and it had green nail polish on, and I keep it in a jar somewhere. It's very cool,
just to scare people.
Yes, I'll bring it out for next episode.
Brilliant. We used to have a rugby coach who lost his toe. I can't remember how he lost it, but it had to be amputated. Must have been circulation or something. Yeah. And Terry Ball was a legend, and Terry used to anoint you with his toe for your debut. So he'd basically give you like the sign of the cross. He just kept it in a thing in his pocket. And then your first pint you'd have to down, he'd put the toe in the pint. You had to down a pint with Terry's toe at the bottom. And then he'd bring it up.
Where was this, Dave? Was this in the
Crusaders.
UK? Oh, Crusaders.
Crusaders.
Dude,
oh, man. Of course it was at Crusaders.
You have far too many amputated body parts and drinking stories from Crusaders.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
There's a lot. So
it's great. Anyway, sorry, I interrupted
you. Sorry, just to jump back to you there, Dave. So, yeah, allegedly the term does come from the Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's where the Easter egg in media originates from.
Good guess.
Wow, okay. That's a nice little nugget. Well done, Dev, for spotting that and bringing that up and allowing us to pull the thread. So I was interested in the character Riff Raff because he reminded me so much of Dave. I know you don't know too much of Star Wars. But you know when Luke's going to Jabba's palace to rescue Han, and there's that guy who receives Luke at the door, and then the guy who whispers in Jabba's ear, he looks just like Riff Raff. And I was like, it's the same kind of thing. No, he's not. I thought he was, but he also looks like the guy from Men in Black. You know, there's the pug that's got that, and the pug's actually the alien, and the person's just like a drone. But he's not the same guy. But he's got that same receding blonde, deadpan kind of I collect brains for master kind of face. But he's the guy that wrote it. So I didn't know that.
Yes.
Which is like just wild, yeah.
Richard O'Brien.
And did you hear how he had his build up to writing it?
No, enlighten us. Master.
He was in the chorus in Jesus Christ Superstar. I think Tim Curry was also there, or he was in Hair with Tim Curry previously. And he was the understudy for King Herod. And King Herod was sick for whatever reason, and he got his chance to go on stage. And he played the part of King Herod with a rock and roll Elvis swagger. And he was immediately fired after the evening's performance. But he got £300 or so severance pay, like a month's worth of pay. And he just used that time then to sit down and write his own musical based on those B-grade science fiction movies that he was brought up on. Yeah. Which is just kind
what
of
he
like,
wasn't allowed to do on stage.
Yeah. And then the doors just opened up until the issues with the film version.
No, it's fascinating. So it's really funny you got fired from Jesus Christ Superstar because, you know, Jim Sharman's also directed a lot of productions of Jesus Christ Superstar. And I think he was the director of it. Director that's so he fired him.
So I think he knew Jim Sharman from then, but then he went back with this script and there was interest. It was like, okay, there's something here. So there was a relationship there before.
Nice.
Richard O'Brien was so good. The way he opens up on Time Warp as well is just class. He's got such a flippin' like unique sound, his voice, like probably because we've heard the song so many times, but the moment he speaks, you can just hear it.
Has he acted in anything else? Because he was reminding me of something was bugging me the whole way through. But he's never acted.
He's been in a couple of things. He was a stuntman first, so he was a stuntman in the Casino Royale parody with old Peter Sellers. Okay, and he was a stuntman. He was a stuntman in a cowboy movie. But I checked to Carry On Cowboy, but it wasn't linked to any of our previous episodes in Cowboys. And then The one movie he was in, which I found very interesting, is another movie that he was in with Meatloaf as well. They were both in Spice World, the movie in 1997. He did more serious things than this, but they were both in Spice World in 1997. Which I saw in the cinema was fantastic. It was myself, Justin, and Darby, and a bunch of children. And when their parents saw us arrive, they stayed for the movie as well. They thought it was strange, but I thought it was completely fine for varsity students to be watching Spice World. But in Spice World, the movie, while we're on it now, quickly, Meatloaf is there, but Meatloaf is their tour bus driver, and like the one scene I remember is they like, I forget what his name is, but they're like, dude, the shower's blocked again, all the hair's blocking the drain, can you sort it out? And like Meatloaf stops, and he's in bus driver character, and he's like, girls, you know I love you and I'd do anything for you, but I won't do that. And it's just, but like just deadpan delivery. It was lost in the entire cinema, obviously, because the demographic was wrong. Yeah. Here ends my Spice World reading. I used to have the files too. It was an amazing piece of stationery.
One last thing on Riff Raff. He reminded me of, if you watched Young Frankenstein.
Yes, very much so.
And
that came out the year before, didn't it?
It was around then, yeah. But Marty Feldman plays his, and he also walks with the hunch. Like. Marty Feldman with the big eyes.
Yes.
The massive eyes. He had that. You'd have to look it up, Dave. I saw him do the one hunch thing where he hunches over and he swings his whole body into the hunch to start walking. And I thought, that's bloody Marty Feldman from Young Frankenstein.
That's awesome.
But I'm going to quickly take you on a... Yeah, go thoughts.
While we on O'Brien, just on the time warp. So when he had taken the play to Sharma and they were running through it, it wasn't long enough. He said, we need another song, and it needs to be like a song and dance number so we can put more time on the production. And that's where the time warp came from, to fill up that chunk of time. So it wasn't part of the original. It wasn't part of the original body of songs. It was like a Hail Mary. We need something to fill up space, and the last minute filler became
the movie.
Yes, and the entire soundtrack.
Jeez.
Yeah,
which is very cool.
Did you guys go down the road of the producer, Lou Adler?
No.
Okay, so I just saw the name and I thought it rang a bell, but it actually didn't, because I don't really, how many of us know exactly who produced which albums and all that? But the reason I sent you the Mamas and the Papas one this morning, and Barry Maguire, because this guy, Lou Adler, produced the Mamas and the Papas all the way through all of their albums. So he had multiple number ones with them. He produced Barry Maguire's Eve of Destruction. He produced Cheech and Chong, their comedy albums. And their movie, was it Up in Smoke or something?
Yes.
Up in Smoke.
Yeah,
he produced that. He produced that as well. And he produced Janis Joplin, what did she popularize? Which song did she popularize?
Me and Bobby McGee.
Chris.
Me and Bobby McGee.
Wow.
There we go. Sure. And then Barry Maguire, in the Mamas and the Papas song, there's a lyric, McGuinn and Maguire, just to get in higher in LA. You know where that's at. And Roger McGuinn, who's the other one mentioned, is a founder member of the Byrds.
Oh,
and
wow.
Who came from the Byrds?
Graham Parsons.
Graham Parsons. He was Parsons' big mate. And then this guy, Barry McGuinn, he went on to collaborate with Bob Dylan on writing all the music for Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, which was Christopherson's movie.
Nice link. Maximum points, Dave. Maximum points, Dave.
Phenomenal.
Back to the beginning.
Did you
Nothing on Paddington.
Nothing
on Paddington. Is there?
Doesn't deserve any points because it's like an Easter egg hiding in plain sight. So Tim Curry did the voice of Mr. Curry, who's the nasty neighbor, who's like the antithesis of Mr. Gruber relationship-wise to Paddington. And Tim Curry is the voice of Mr. Curry in the 1989 Paddington Bear TV series.
There it is.
Oh, wow.
There it is.
So you got the full Graham Parsons, Chris Christopherson. Maximum points to Dave still, but I think team effort. We've got a nice what's the word, coverage.
Yeah, links
Right
all the way
there.
back.
And to an even lesser extent, which is so no points, but so Barry Bostwick
He
played who played
yeah.
Brad.
Yeah.
He also played Captain Ahab in Moby Dick.
Did he?
He did.
Amazing.
And
did he ever play baseball?
What yeah, probably did play baseball. Definitely played ballerinas, that's for sure.
Sorry, what was the next bit?
No, I was just going to say, and what essay was the whale reading? He was reading Moby Dick.
Yes. No,
yes.
Fantastic link. And what was also nice, kind of a more subliminal link, is that the main character is named after a famous kind of sausage. And there was a whole song around "You just a hot dog," and don't you hurt her, Frankfurter. Yeah, don't get hot and flustered. Use a bit of mustard.
Yes.
You're a hot dog, but you'd better not try and hurt her, Frankfurter. So it's like all the elements.
There's a bumper sticker.
It's all there.
Alien transvestites, sausages, links to Paddington, the Flying Burrito Brothers, Chris Christopherson,
Graham Parsons.
Yeah,
it's all there.
Yeah, it's
all there.
It's all here.
And Tom Warp is essentially kind of what Benjamin Button was stuck in Hazel. He was agent in reverse. So.
Exactly, and Rocky was born an old man already. Rocky was born out of the tub, fully developed. So there were definite links there. that man never went on to star in another film ever again. Really,
his acting wasn't great. So
I was going to say, not unsurprising, not the greatest acting, which he admitted to, and he was like, "Yeah, it's not for me."
So what did he do?
They picked him for his body.
What's he done for the last 50 years?
He was a model. Yeah.
Oh, that's okay.
And
he's just been ridiculously good looking for 50 years.
Exactly.
He was a body double for Clint Eastwood.
I like how serious man.
That's
serious player on those parts.
That's very cool. And another thing I saw when they first took it across to the States and they did the theater production, Fox executive saw it and he wanted to buy it right away to buy the movie rights. But Mick Jagger also saw it, and Mick Jagger offered more than Fox, but he wanted to take the role of Frankenfurter.
Wow.
Can you imagine the world if that had happened? But anyway, long story short, Jim Sharman and O'Brien kind of realized that they needed to keep the family and the core team together, otherwise it would lose something, which is why they didn't go with Mick Jagger. But can you imagine old Mick Jagger playing Frankenfurter?
Have you seen the music video Dancing in the Street with Mick Jagger and David Bowie?
Yes.
Yeah, Jagger could definitely play a transvestite.
That I have no doubt. But Tim Curry was unbelievable in that role, though. Jeez, like he was good.
That was also his film debut.
Yes. It was, because he was very much just on the stage before that.
A theatre actor, yeah. And then he also released an album afterwards, like Meatloaf did, trying to get, but he went into acting.
Okay.
Yeah.
His voice is strong.
His voice is amazing.
Yeah.
You know what else I like about those old movies, though, is that the human body is real. People's teeth aren't lightning white and perfect rectangles. They are enamel colored and irregular, flawed rectangles. Yeah, and that opening scene, when you've got those yellow teeth and they're not perfect rectangles. It was just like refreshing. It's like, okay, there's a human mouth. There's body hair for days on all the male actors besides for Rocky.
Yeah.
It was like just
Rocky had
bodies.
Rocky had a bit of a sort of a landing strip's the wrong word, but definitely hadn't groomed.
Okay. We don't know what parts you were watching of the movie. Devon, if you want to cover up now, I'll understand. if you want to, if you're feeling a little bit vulnerable or exposed.
Don't look at me.
Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned. Last week we were talking about Brad Pitt. This week we were talking about this. We might need to get some different movies. Maybe we need to watch Coyote Ugly or Showgirls or something, just to kind of self-correct the conversations that are taking place.
Scissor Valley.
Can't fight the moonlight.
Can't fight the moonlight.
So did you go down all sorts of routes about people crashing in the desert, Dev? Did you continue on that for The Little Prince? Or did you actually just read the book eventually?
I've read the book numerous times. Thor was actually sent it, or not sent it to me. I was still living in Durban, and he gave it to me on my 23rd birthday, inscribed on the inside. And yeah, literally one of the most life-changing books I've ever read. I feel like it should be a set book in every school. I think it's incredible. But I did not go search every plane crash that happened in the desert. Okay. But I did find it fascinating, though, that he himself actually went missing on a reconnaissance mission during World War II. In 1944. And the plane just disappeared, never to be found. It was kind of like a bit of fate in his writing, bit of like a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way.
I found a very cool YouTube, or like a documentary on YouTube that was translated, dubbed into English about that. And, it's just completely wild, because like The Little Prince got published in America in 1943, and then he re-enlisted to go fly for the Free French Army. So he was in exile in America because the Vichy French were anti-him, and Charles de Gaulle had a chip on his shoulder about him as well and was slandering him. So he was in a position
had a chip on his shoulder about everybody.
Yeah, fair enough. So he was in a position where he felt he had to go back and kind of not clear his name, but kind of put his money back where his mouth was. So he went back to join the Free French Air Force. And in the first draft of so he died when he was 44 in 1944. In the first draft of his book, The Little Prince's Planet has 43 sunrises every day. He revised it before it got published to 44. And then he died when he was 44. So there are these kind of discussions that go around, either it's a form of precognition and spookiness, or it's kind of also some kind of sense of this is a subliminal suicide note in some ways. That I'm going to re-enlist, and the chances of my survivability are X, Y, Z. And I speak with all due respect and out of turn, but these are all kind of considerations when you kind of the things just line up like spookily well. Could just also just be coincidence. But on the plane, Dev, they found the plane. So
I heard, but way later.
They found, so in 1998, a fisherman pulled up his net and it had the St. Exupéry's bracelet, and it was engraved with his name and his address. And when that was found, then they kind of narrowed down the search, and like ocean explorers and divers in France went looking for it. And they went to the area where the bracelet was found, and a diver who had spotted many plane wrecks kind of went back in there, and he just studied the P-38 Lightnings, all the different kinds. So he would be able to identify what type of lightning the St. Exupéry was flying, and they found his plane, which is
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's insane,
which is completely crazy.
And 50 years later.
Yeah, like 50 odd years later. And then after news of the plane came out, they got a letter from an ex-German Luftwaffe pilot. And again, this might be a complete hoax. The guy might be telling nonsense, because the Nazis burnt all their record as they were retreating. They burnt all their documents and destroyed their evidence. So there's no corroboration. But this guy wrote to the team or to the museum and said, I was flying on that day, and just after dawn on this date in this place, I shot down a P-38. And he was even remorseful, because he had gone on to read and become a fan of Saint X as a writer, And, like he writes there, he's like, I've always thought it was possible, and it has always worried me that it might have been me that shot him down.
Wow. There were some amazing stories like that. My mom's side of the family, there's about 4 or 5 pilots. And the one guy, his father was Potgieter, who flew in, he was a World War II fighter pilot. Ace was Sailor Malan and all the famous South African pilots flew with the Royal Air Force. And he told a story once, and I can't remember if it was him or it was another Royal Air Force pilot. And they were at a thing with the Germans, obviously many years later. It wasn't like 46 or anything like that. It might have been like 86 when, forgive and forget. And he'd always told the story to his other pilots about he'd been shot down and he parachuted out. And this German plane circled him all the way down. Yeah. And he thought he was circling him to get a shot to take him out. But he was protecting him. This German pilot was protecting him. Oh, and he flew circles around as he parachuted down. And as it was just about as it was getting too low, he sort of banked next to him and saluted and flew off. Wow. And he told that story about it at this reunion. And literally within the group he was telling the story to, the German pilot said, "That was me." And he explained it. It wasn't claiming fame. He explained the exact scenario. He said, "I remember exactly it. This was where we were. This is what happened. You banked left. I shot your right wing." Or details that nobody else could possibly know. So freaky how things like that, and 40, 50 years later.
Soldiers, because he was born in 1900. So first flight at Kitty Hawk was 1903. So, the very first planes were being built and being flown around and just coming to Europe when he was a young boy. And so he was in love with flying his entire life. And, when you look at his kind of adventures, he's of that ilk of guys when there's no radar, there's no technology. Basically, you're very good at maths, and you have like a thermometer and an altimeter and a compass, and maybe a barometer, so if your altitude reading is correct.
Balls of steel.
No, absolutely.
I mean, he writes about that in his other book, Night Flight.
Yes.
And you realize how hectic it was back then to be a pilot, to be an aviator. What you have to go through flying around at night. You don't have, radios out. You don't have all the gimmicks and all the stuff in front of you telling you what to do, where to go.
Proper pilots.
That's how he had his one crash. So there was one beautiful quote about how he had lots of flying experience and lots of crashing experience, which is also why he was like in such injured shape and bad neck towards the end of his days, because he had crashed so often. But they were on a race from Paris to Saigon, and they're flying over the Sahara, and it's nighttime, and they've already lost 2 or 3 hours because of a fuel leak. So they pretty much just hop stepping and jumping from airfield to airfield, from Paris down to North Africa to get to Saigon, and it's pitch black, and you've got nothing, and you kind of hope that the barometer reading hasn't changed, because your altimeter has to be calibrated to what the atmospheric pressure is, because otherwise it's going to read wrong. And he then figures out that it's overcast because the lights on his wings are casting like a shadow against the cloud. So they only click then that they're in the middle of a cloud and a storm, and they have no idea what their tailwind is or if there's a headwind. So even with all the maths in the world, you don't know what's happening. And that's how they ended up kind of crashing, because all of a sudden the ground came up to meet them.
Jeez.
I did like amongst the supplies they had, so they had some coffee, they had a gallon of white wine and some grapes. So I'm like, guys, you're going on like an endurance air race, and you have a gallon of wine. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What could go wrong?
Yeah.
How else do you fly? But that's that crash, was that not kind of where the Little Prince came from, and he started like seeing his inner child while he was down there.
Yeah, well, I think they were so dehydrated that they also saw mirages and they hallucinated. Yes. So there's like some talk about like how like one of the hallucinations was a Little Prince or a person like that. It's definitely inspired by that crash in the desert.
Yeah, he must have been hallucinating, or just he just got a lot of time to think.
Yeah, well, he's this master aviator, but he's also a man of letters. So they say he would be reading in his cockpit while the mechanics were getting the plane warmed up and ready, and he would read until it was time to take off, and then he would read while he was flying when there was nothing to see. And he also had a notebook with him, so he would write and read in the cockpit while he was flying. So there's a story about when the ground crew got pissed off with him because he circled the runway for like an hour or a couple of hours because he wanted to finish his book before he landed. You know, and then he would write thoughts while he was looking at the world from the airplane, and he'd have his meditations. I've
definitely driven further. Just I've missed my road on purpose so I can hear the end of a song. I've definitely done that.
Nah, more than once.
No, absolutely. So I think he was always writing and always kind of looking out for those things.
Yeah, well, I think he was always writing letters to his wife as well, Consuela. I can't remember if they ended up getting divorced. It was quite a tumultuous relationship.
There were affairs and there was drama, but he always came back to her, and like he called her his rose. She was his rose. Yeah.
With thorns or without thorns?
No, definitely with thorns.
Yeah.
But Consuela, if you marry a girl called Consuela, surely you are expecting some red hot Latin blood coming at you.
So we got no South American listeners yet.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, they'll probably agree with you.
They probably agree.
Well, there's the Paddington link, is Argentina and South America and opening up the postal routes in South America. Yeah. But he would have been a man to walk the mountains with, by all accounts.
No, I did. Yeah. No,
I think that generation, all of that generation. But when you mention walking mountains, Thors, it's going to bring me to another plane crash in the desert.
Yeah.
And Dev, remember you picked Black Mamba Man. You suddenly feared that you were worried that it was going to trigger Zimbabwean and the
Oh dear. Yeah.
So, our former president, Ian Smith, he was a RAF pilot. And he crashed in the desert in 1943, broke his jaw, broke his shoulder, facial reconstruction, the whole lot, and re-enlisted. So he wasn't allowed to enlist in Rhodesia at the time because as a student, you weren't allowed to enlist. But he lied about being a student because obviously they wanted it's such a small country, you needed sort of the intelligentsia to stay alive. But he lied about studying, got in, crashed in the desert, facial reconstruction.
Yeah.
Then crashed again. They started flying over Italy in Corsica and got shot down and was saved by the partisans there. And then to get back to Allied territory, he walked over the Alps barefoot.
Wow.
Jeez.
And they ended up walking over the Alps to get back to, I forget the number of days, but it was a good few weeks with a local guide, Corsican guide. Yeah. And then, walked over the Alps to get back to where the Americans were based somewhere.
Jeez.
There we go, another plane crash. And you know where he grew up, Dev? 2 hours away from where Black Mamba Man grew up.
No ways.
Yeah. 2 hours outside of Bulawayo.
Yeah, that's insane.
So,
different time that, eh?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. My brother on a golf tour today, their car broke down. There's 7 of them in the car. Not one of them knew what to do. They were stuck in the middle of the bush for hours. Like, none of us know anything about cars. Like, this fixes his own plane and walks across the mountains for 2 weeks. Yeah. These guys just had to phone a driver from Belito to come and fetch them.
Man,
geez.
Can you imagine? A completely different era. You could just imagine like the Little Prince is reincarnated, come to visit these stranded travelers, but the world has changed so much that no one's able to actually do shit themselves. So they're not going to be there for 6 days rebuilding their engine from stone and twigs. So by the time the Little Prince rocks up with his story to make his new friends and have some deep moral insights, the Ubers picked them up and the AAs towed the car away. The world is probably just full of little princes. Just
Yeah. And
there was a broken down vehicle here. It's on the plane.
they've been delivered to their 5-star holiday resort in the Drakensberg and just made their tea time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The little prince is checking his calendar. He's like, "Where's that damn snake?"
Yeah.
He's under the fridge. My wife.
Oh no!
That's Harvin yoga.
That's awful.
Yeah, no, but I loved his analogies as well, and obviously all the different planets that he goes to, and all the different people that he meets, and how it kind of to a certain point it does pigeonhole, but a lot of I mean, every single one of those people he describes or planets that he's gone to, we've all met, we all know, we know a lot of them.
We've been them.
I used to be one. I might still be one. You know.
Yeah. And like Dev, you said earlier, like it should be set work in all schools. So it is third only to the Quran and the Bible in numbers of prints and numbers of languages it's translated in. Yeah. So only the Bible and the Quran are more widely published and translated than this little novella, which is incredible. You know, and it's kind of yeah, and it's kind of strange that not more people. That's not on everyone's lips all the time, because it's when you do read it, it is so profound at multiple different levels.
I was just going to say the one parallel I found between Rocky Horror and The Little Prince is that both of them are from outer space.
Yes,
from different worlds.
Yes, they both came from outer space, and they both went back to outer space.
And they both went back to outer space, and they both came to try and teach human race about something.
There we go.
Yeah.
One about innocence and beauty, and the other one about it's freedom and excess.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Magnificent clothing all around.
They could have shared a wardrobe.
And what charming underclothes you both have.
Well, that's all for this week. Thanks for listening. Join us next time for Meatloaf's 1977 debut album, Bat Out of Hell, and P.G. Woodhouse's 1923, The Inimitable Jeeves. Until next time.
Well, I'm sure you're not spent yet. Loyalty such as yours shall not go unrewarded.